Hey there, it's Alyson. I am so excited to help you simplify your operations. And most folks that come into my world are looking for some kind of reprieve from all of the fires, all of the tasks, all of the to-dos, and just generally feeling like their personal life, maybe themselves, are just getting what's left of what the business is taking. And so I have spent a decade in small business operations. And one of the biggest things that I see happening is that folks just really don't understand the ecosystem that is operations. And that's because we've been fed a bunch of BS, right? We've been fed EOS, we've been fed clockwork, we've been fed scaling up. And those big operating models don't necessarily help us solopreneurs or folks with small teams. We really need solutions that are going to help simplify operations and also allow us the space to be able to build all without some gigantic heavy lift. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly why you need to start to focus on this in your current trajectory in your business and why it's going to be so helpful for you in terms of getting some time back with your family, getting some time to be able to breathe inside of your business, and why it's going to be one of the greatest accelerators for your growth overall because of the fact that you are limiting your options. You are in a position where you are focused on only a few things and you do a few things well. And this is the type of work, I'll be totally honest, that most business owners are not willing to do. This is the work that most business owners, their business just dies on the vine because they aren't willing to create systems and create structure around what they're doing. So first and foremost, I think it's amazing that you are here. It's incredible that you are committed to this. And one of the big things that I personally work with business owners on is to simplify their operations and to create their dream role in their business. Because here is what happens with business owners when they go to start a brand new thing. So it happens kind of like this. We invest time into our business, right? Whether we're doing sweat equity and we're burning the candle at both ends in the middle, we're on 24/7 building things for our clients, or whatever it is that we're offering inside of our business. And we invest a ton of time in the front end to build our company. And that's super necessary and also frankly, super common, based on trajectories of companies I've personally worked with, or we're investing money, right? We're building new websites and we are, investing in ads, or we're doing all of these things to bring new customers into our world to really make ourselves legitimate online. And the other thing that I think often we don't talk about is we spend a lot of energy. We're thinking about our business all the time. We're, thinking about new ideas and new direction and all those types of things. And it really starts to drain us, right? And so when we spend a lot of time and energy inside of the business, we start to feel drained. Right? Have you ever sat down to your desk and you're just like, man, I don't have it in me today. This business feels like it's taking everything from me. We end up giving back to our family what's only left of us, the scraps at the end of the day. And it starts to feel really heavy, right? I don't know if you guys relate, but I know I've been there during certain seasons of my business. And if we're not careful, we can just drain that time and energy. And we end up in the situation where we're going to be burnt out. So folks who are living in kind of this category end up in a position where burnout is extremely possible. And it's not a fun place. If you're spending a lot of time and money currently in your business, so it feels like your business is a never-ending suck on your time and money, you might feel a bit broke. Right? You might start to feel like, why can't I get a handle on my finances? Why does it feel like everything is last minute? I'm working in my business a ton and revenue might be growing, but all of a sudden, like I have no idea where the cash went or where any of my team's time is going. And so you might start to feel broke. And frankly, people who live here just feel really unsupported. They feel like they're hiring consultants. They feel like they're hiring teammates and nothing seems to actually get traction. They feel like they're spinning their wheels in mud and everything still relies on them because they're feeling really, really broke in terms of where the business is going. And then when you invest a lot of energy and money into the business and you really feel like it's not really picking up anything, this just feels like a complete suck. I can't even describe a better word for this. But if you feel like you are maybe not investing as much time in the business, but you're in a position where you're still making all the decisions, it still occupies a lot of your brain, and you are still in a position where you're maybe overpaying some folks in your business, or you're overpaying some consultants or overpaying for technology, that actually feels like a huge suck on your resources, because though you're not spending a lot of time, you still have this thing, right, that needs a lot from you. And so a lot of times when I talk to folks here, we're just in a position where we're done. We're like, I can't do this anymore. Maybe it's actually better if I'm not able to spend my time in this business, or I want to be doing something else. Then if it's sucking out my energy and my money, then I'm just going to go ahead and cut ties. And we literally see folks on just the brink of calling it quits in this bucket. And so if you're feeling drained or broke, or like your business is just sucking the life out of you, I fully feel like when you're living in the center of all of this, you are just a totally sad founder. It's not even going to be worthwhile. In the back of your mind, you're like, this just takes so much to lift and so much to actually support the business, that fully, and honestly, I've been here in seasons of my business too, where it starts to feel like it's not even worth it to untangle all the things that you need to untangle. And so whenever someone taps me on the shoulder to support them in their business, I set up operations in a really simple way to combat a lot of these things. And so this is the simple way where you can kind of get up and out of the business without feeling like you need to retool everything, or change your entire tech stack, or fire your entire team, or switch up all of your offers. What we really want to do is we want to create a simple structure around your business that supports the type of role you want in your company. So putting you here at the center, happy and fulfilled and excited, your business is moving in the direction that you want it to move. You are in a position that you really feel fulfilled by, and your business doesn't rely on you 24/7 for either time, money, or energy, right? Because we don't want to be there. So first and foremost, what we really want to do is we want to set up the right process in your business. And a lot of different operations folks have lots of different definitions for the word process. I personally feel like it's your proprietary approach, right? How are we approaching your structure of your service? How are we really setting together your intellectual property around how you help? I personally believe, especially if you are in the service field, you probably have a process under there somewhere. How are we identifying that, putting it into the core thing that you offer, and really building the rest of the business around that core process? You can call this, your customer journey is a core process, in my opinion. Those types of things are really central to how the business operates, and they really start to alleviate questions of direction, questions of to-dos, questions from the team, all the stuff, if you are just so crystal clear on your processes inside of the business. Next are your systems. So systems are really, really important, and they're collections of processes, right? So a system might be something like your overall client experience, from like the marketing to the sales to the delivery to the re-engagement type of situation. These systems, right, are processes that kind of compound on top of one another. For example, project management, perfect type of system. We'll talk about that here in a second. But you got your processes, you've got your systems, right, that back those and keep everything kind of flowing through the business. And then of course you've got your people. If you're in a position where you are the only person in the business, then this is you making sure that you are focused on the right things, making sure that you are in a position to win. If this is you supporting some other folks on your team, which is amazing, what you want to do is you want to make sure that those folks understand your processes, they understand your systems, they understand the way that the business works, and they have a nice lightweight operational structure to help them make decisions, to be able to complete their tasks, to be able to feed you back the proper information that helps you make those types of decisions that make the business grow. So it's really lightweight, it's really simple, but you've got your people and your processes, right? This is your collection of how-tos. Lots of folks call these standard operating procedures. I love having a nice lightweight playbook or something that your people can go to and say, how do I do blank? That doesn't necessarily need to flow through you. I've trained dozens of custom GPTs in businesses over the last couple of years, and really it can be so silly simple that it feels almost like this massive weight off your shoulders. And you're like, how did I not do this before? Between your processes and your systems, you want really, really clear measurables. So key performance indicators. You want to know how your people and your processes are interacting with your systems and what that means for your business. So a lot of business owners that come to me, they're in a position where they're like, I have no idea what's going on in the business. And I'll go in and I'll ask the team, I'll be like, hey, what's the number one focus for this quarter for every single person? And they'll be like, I don't know. And that is a big, big, big red flag for me. That shows me that the founder is too embedded in the day-to-day operations and there's no data feedback for how we're running things behind the scenes. And then between your systems and your people, what you really want to have is an airtight project management system. Now, I'm not talking micromanaging. I'm not talking this like Asana or Monday, drain. But what we need to do is set up a way for you, the happy founder in the middle here now, to come into the business, oopsie daisy, to come into the business and be like, okay, I get it. People are following the processes, they are hitting their key performance indicators, and I know what tasks they're working on, or I know how things are moving forward because I can see it in my project management system. So these types of things are so silly simple to actually implement, and they don't take a ton of time. They also don't take some big cumbersome operating system, or you don't need to read another book in order to figure this type of stuff out. It's actually super duper simple. If you haven't yet grabbed my handbook, I imagine if you're watching this video, you do already have my handbook. It is something that is so straightforward and streamlined where you can think about the processes in every section of your business, the systems that support them, and then what the people role might be. But if you're feeling like you are really stuck, this is the path to your dream business. And this is what we help founders implement all the time. So the first step is to get clear on your situation. Where are you in those 3 buckets? What might need some retooling? And where do we feel like we need to make some really clear decisions on how we want to move forward? Then I create a roadmap to your dream business and your dream role. So what does the next 6 months look like for you in your business, and what really clear things do we need to set up in place so that you can actually get your time back, feel like your business is a source of stability and not stress? Then we'll implement. So this is some really solid big time stuff. If you're in a position where you have struggled to implement things, if you are in a position where you've struggled to get clear on what operational elements need to exist in your business, this will be the most incredible transformation that you personally, I think, will experience inside of your business, because literally we're just creating a radically different feel without a gigantic lift or a gigantic investment. Step 4, of course, there will always be tweaks and adjustments. And then step 5, just like live proudly in your new reality. Be in a situation where you actually can stand behind a business that functions well, that is profitable, that isn't a time suck on you, and that you can embrace these simple systems, lead your team with clarity and specificity, and just have a whole new kind of ethos around the way that you actually run your business. So if you feel like this is great, I encourage you to apply now. I only work with 5 founders a month on this particular process just because of the intensity of the audit. I really do work behind the scenes diligently to make sure that we categorize everything, and I can get behind the scenes and give you a really nice, accurate read on how that works. If you'd like to partner with me on this experience and you would really like to create a better reality for your business, really create your dream role, get anchored in that, and create your dream business around it, I would like to partner with you, and I would like to hear it from you about what your goals are and where you currently are. So go ahead, click the button below, apply now. And I'll look through your information, and if it's a fit, I'll schedule a call and reach out to you about that, and we can chat some more. But thank you so much. I hope that this in and of itself was extremely valuable to you, and I hope that we get to speak about your project in the future. Take care.